Trying to.
Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday class. I've got Basti with me on the chat today. He's from North Norfolk. He's got a video feed and everything, Basti, today. It must be a good day. Woohoo! Okay. So just say hi on the chat. It's really great to have you back in the back in this virtual room with me, and a little bit excited because it's week 1 of the wood element. You know, we're doing this 50-week cycle through the year, 10 weeks for each of the 5 elements. And well done, everyone. We got through the whole water element. Fantastic. We got, in the last 10 weeks, we've gone through all the main kidney and bladder points. And I personally, I was just saying to Basti, I've learned a lot because I've really gone much deeper into the names of the points that I never really did much of before. And yeah, it's been quite an amazing journey all the way up the kidney meridian and down the bladder meridian. But now we're on to a new phase. We're on to the wood element, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But more importantly, let's find out how you are. And here we are. We've got loads of people coming in from all over the world as usual for the chat. Great to see you all here, and looking forward to finding out how we are as a group. It's been very exciting over the last 45 weeks. I think we've been doing these classes to find out how we've adapted as a group. There's been lots of big energy changes, and we're trying to adapt the exercises for you. Okay, so let's get straight on and find out how you're doing. First of all, I'm going to put the slides up. Okay, so here we are. We're going to find out how you are. We'll do some polls. We'll do the exercises. Point of the week, which will be on the liver channel. And there'll be a little bit of an intro to the liver channel later on as we go along. Fantastic. Okay, so let's find out how we are. I think it's a really good idea to do some focusing exercises, just scanning through our energy field, just to find out how we are. And we're going to do that first of all. We're going to do a whole body scan, and then we're going to zero in on the burners. So if you'd just like to share this with me, I'm going to stand up. You can sit down if you like. That's fine. And we're going to do a whole body scan all the way down our body, just checking in to see how we are. Okay, so just standing, nice relaxed position. We're just going to start quietening our energy down, tuning into how we are. Okay, and we're going to start scanning down from above our head. I'm just going to scan through, focusing in on the top of our head. Tune into your eyes as well. That's a really good one, just to see whether you're holding any stress in your eyes, down through into the ears, sinuses, into the throat. I'm just scanning down, seeing if you find any areas that feel kind of out of balance or feel blocked or in any way. And then we're going down through our shoulders, down our arms, down through the chest and through the back, into our diaphragm, and then through the abdomen. Okay, check out your hips. Are you holding any tension in your hips? Just tuning in at the moment. We're going down through the hips, down through the knees, and down through our feet. Okay, now what I'd like to do now is just take a moment just to scan into your whole energy, just see how you feel, whether there's any areas you're holding. Just get into that feeling, and we're just going to do a quick drawing. I'm going to get my piece of paper here, and I'm going to just draw a quick sketch so I can remind myself at the end of what I felt like at the beginning. And I'm going to ask you, with a poll, I'm going to ask you your general level of how you're feeling at the moment. It's really important to scan in and find out how we're feeling, because then as we're doing the exercises, we can kind of focus them in on our own particular individual needs, I guess. Okay, which of these best describes your scan? That's the one I was looking for. This is the poll. I'm going to ask you a new question this week, everyone, because I'm going to just try and find out what you like doing the best. Okay, so let's just quickly share this poll. So can you just let the group know whether you feel well and balanced, whether you feel blocked or obstructed generally when you look at your picture, weak or tired, maybe you're feeling a bit hot or agitated, or maybe you're feeling a bit cold or frozen. So maybe we can just do that. Now this is very interesting. We're getting a little bit of an increase there in the tiredness. You noticed that before, a couple of weeks ago when I started this poll, we were getting a way more blocked or obstructed, and now I'm getting a little bit of tiredness coming in. We really need to take that into account when we're doing the exercises. I'll make sure we do that. And also, if we look at, we've actually had a drop of around 19 or 20% of people who are feeling well and balanced down to just 12%. So even more reason to be here at this Wednesday class. We really want to look after you and get you through this period. And we've got some great techniques to be able to do that. So I'm going to just ask you another poll, which I've not asked before, which is is your favorite type of exercise in the class? Because this can tell us a lot, really. We do the shaking, the breathing internally, the doing, the stretches, or the very quiet meditations? So could you just let us know what your favorite, if you had to pick just one type of exercise, what would it be? And I'll just make sure that we kind of balance the session out for you as well, so that we can do that. Okay, now it's really interesting because we're basically getting a majority of tapping the meridians, that's the doing, and the shaking. And there's a very good reason for that, because a lot of you have got obstruction in your body, like blocks, and the tapping and the shaking is really a good thing for that. The breathing focus and the stretching is still very popular. Meditation's a little bit more quiet. Maybe those of you who need a little bit more internal quiet work can do it. So what I suggest you do is just take it easy, be kind to yourself, and adapt the exercises to your own individual needs as we go along. And I'll do that. I'll try and tweak the exercises like I do every week to try and fit the group as a whole. Okay, great. So now let's just do 3-burner tune in and find out which burner is going to be the most popular this week. And that's been another really interesting shift as the coronavirus has affected us all. So let's tune in. Let's spend a few minutes tuning into the burners. Are you ready? Okay, you need to have your piece of paper with 3 zones in it. And I'll just talk you through. If you're new to the class, we've got 3 zones that we tune into. The lower zone here, which goes through into the back, the middle zone, and the upper zone. Okay, so let's do one after the other. We'll do it one at a time. Okay, so let's tune in first of all to the lower heater, or the lower zone here, which is below the navel, right down into the sacrum. And we're going to close our eyes for a moment just to bring ourselves internally and just explore with your attention that area and see what it's like. Okay, got it. Now, if you had to turn that into a picture, what would it look like? And we're going to just draw that on our chart here. And if you've been coming to the class for a few weeks, or maybe lots of weeks, you'll probably remember how things have changed. I know I do. I can remember even just like last year, what my burners were like and how they've changed over the last few months. Very important, because we can focus in the exercises on that. Okay, got it? So now we're going to go up to the middle burner. That's below the diaphragm and above the navel. So it's this area here, and it goes through into the thoracic spine. So it goes right through into here. Okay, so all this area here. Okay, and we're going to close our eyes again. Close our eyes. And we're bringing our attention into that middle burner. And we're asking a nice open question. What is it like? Okay, and if you're not sure, you can compare it with the lower one and ask yourself, is it the same? And it certainly isn't the same for me, I can assure you. So let's just draw that and maybe write some words in. Okay, good. You ready? Okay, finally we're going to go into the upper burner. That's the lungs basically and the heart area. So it's this whole area here into the thoracic spine and above the diaphragm. All right, so let's just go internally again just for a moment and see what we feel like inside. So we're going to close our eyes. Okay, what is it like? Okay, got it. So open our eyes again. And let's see what that looks like when we draw it. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to put the slides up just to remind ourselves of the, okay, we did that pole, and we did the 3 heaters. And basically what we're looking for is we're looking for a nice relaxed and strong lower heater, an open and flexible kind of middle heater, and a kind of open and relaxed upper heater. And what we don't want is you don't want any real heat there or cold in any of those heaters. Okay, so let's find out, big moment everyone, which what the distribution of the heaters is going to be this week. So I'm going to just launch that poll, which is which heater do you want to work in? Oh yeah, here we go. Which burner do you want to work on most this week? Most today, yeah. Okay, so let's just see what we get. Whoa, okay, the votes are flying in for this. Oh my goodness, look at this. The upper heater is pretty much neck and neck with the middle heater. The middle heater went way ahead a while ago, and the upper heater's creeping up on it now. We're almost neck and neck with that. But more significantly, the lower heater is now taking a bigger overall share. So maybe about a month or two ago, we had a big return with the middle heater being blocked up, a lot of frustration and anger. The lower heaters now is getting bigger, and the reason for that ties in with the other information we've got for the group is the increase in the number of people who are feeling tired, because that kind of fatigue often hits the lower heaters. So we're going to have to look after those lower heaters, everyone, today when we do the exercises. Okay, that's absolutely fantastic information. Thank you very much. It's a wonderful thing to be able to work like this as a group. And I just want to say it's the start of Word, everyone. I think you should have lots of thumbs up in the chat. The snowdrops are out. Spring will be coming soon, and we're preparing for it with these next classes. The wood element is the next one round from the water. So we did the water, that's winter, and wood is associated with spring. So we're on that circle up towards the fire element, which is when the summer will come. Okay, so that's where we are. We're starting the wood element, and here's the lovely timetable here. You'll see we've got it all mapped out. We've got point of the week, and on the 3rd of March, everyone will be looking forward to Kat's Kitchen. She's going to do a special liver related Kat's Kitchen. Hope you enjoyed the water one, and that's where we are right now. So I'll just keep that up, and I'll show you point of the week later on. Okay, but let's get on with the exercises right now. Thank you very much for being with us. Okay, so theme of the week this week is to make sure that we support that tiredness. We're going to do plenty of doing. We're going to do some shaking, do some internal breathing as well. But really what we want to do is stabilize that energy so that we don't get more and more tired, and then it throws off the middle and the upper burners. Okay, so let's start. Okay, very good. So first of all, what we need to do, I'm going to get a bit warm, is we need to establish ourselves, our connection between the heaven and earth, really important. So let's first of all just stand. Okay, notice our connection between heaven and earth. Okay, and also just scan through our body again, tuning in. What we're going to do first of all is we're going to charge up the lower heater, because that's really the most important thing with fatigue. We'll do some doing on the kidney channel, and then we'll focus in more on the middle and the upper heaters. So let's start off straight away by just shaking out any tension. Now, if you're feeling a bit tired, you want to take this a little bit gently. If you're feeling a bit blocked, you want to be a little bit more vigorous. But we'll shake right the way down from the head, right down, and get those feet connected to the earth. Okay, so let's concentrate first on the jaw and the throat area. Okay, I'm going to relax the jaw. Relax the throat. Okay, I'm just going to bring that shaking into the shoulders. And shaking down into the arms. Okay, now let's get that upper burn of the rib cage really releasing. So I'm shaking backwards and forwards. You can make some sounds if you like, if you've got no neighbours around. And we're shaking down, relaxing the diaphragm. Hips, opening and relaxing the hips. Okay, now let's get that shaking down through the hips and into the knees and the feet. Very good. Feeling better already. Okay, excellent. So now what we're going to do is we're going to charge up the lower burner. And do you remember two very important points that we worked on last 10 weeks? We've got kidney 1, which is the bubbling spring point, and we've got Kunlun Mountain, which is this one on bladder 60 by the heel. Remember that Kunlun Mountain? It's the start of the power of the rivers from the mountains that hold us up. So we're going to do some work on the kidney and bladder channels, and we're going to get some real power into this lower heater. And let's just start off. We're going to start off this week. We're going to energize it with the channel first, and then we'll kind of come in with the breathing. Okay, so we're going to rub our hands together. Okay, and we're going to start off with starting off on the kidney channel here, and we're going to be tapping up the back inside of the legs. Okay, and I want you to imagine like a river coming up from the center of your foot up here, all the way up into the lower burner. And we're just encouraging that river from that bubbling spring point. Okay, we're going to do it 3 times. Really energizing around the back of the inside of the legs, back of the knee. Remember that kidney 10 point, and then going up here. Let's just do it one more time for luck. Very good. Okay, now we're going to work on the bladder channel, and we're going to get right down to that Kunlun Mountain. We're going to get this mountain river coming up here into the lower back. So we've got bubbling spring coming here, and we've got the Kunlun Mountain coming this way to bring this power into here. Okay, and this is how we're going to help us with the fatigue. So let's start tapping just behind the ankle and go up, back of the calves. There's another point here right behind the knee. Okay, we're going up the channel this time just for a change. And we're just going to go right into that support, hold the support point. Remember that one, bladder 36. Okay, and we're going to go up again just for a change. Very good. One more time. There we are, starting off on bladder 60 here by the heel. Okay, very good. Okay, so now let's just tune into how we're feeling our legs. Much stronger, right, and more of a connection down with the earth. Really nice, okay? And so now let's start charging up that lower burner through CV6 and CV4, which are these 2 points that form the dantian just below the navel. So find your navel, go down a little bit, and then rubbing your hands together, placing our palm right over there. And we're using that image of the water element channels in the legs to provide strength in the lower hara, and then we'll put it into the lower back, okay? So let's just see if we can get our breathing sorted out now. We're going to rub this area here, and we're going to bring our attention down into this area below the navel. And to do that, we need to just relax our shoulders. Relax all the way down so the breath can come in smoothly down into this lower burner. Very good. Okay, now let's just get that head floating up. So imagine that cord, that golden thread floating the head up. And let's just feel the weight of our sacrum hanging down from that thread. Okay, if I give you a side view, what happens is we drop the sacrum, we soften here, we drop the sacrum down, tuck it in slightly, and keep this floating up. Yeah? Very good. Now if we bring our attention further down through the hips, we've nicely opened up those water element channels. So we've got a good connection with the earth now. Nice relaxed breathing. Okay, if you're feeling tired this week, I know a lot of you are feeling tired, maybe getting a little bit low, I'd recommend doing some shaking and low abdominal breathing like this. It's really good, and all these kidney energy exercises are really good for just getting the adrenal system a little bit more activated and just generally getting yourselves moving a bit. Okay, and part of that is powering up the lower back. Now, if you can bring your arms here to this point here, remember this bladder 23, this is the kidney U point. If this is too much for your shoulders, then just keep working here and send the energy or the intention through into the back. If you can do this, it's really nice to energize the lower back here. Okay, there we are. Head floating up, relaxing the shoulders, feeling the sacrum weighted down, feel the connection with the earth. Okay, very good. Okay, now another thing we can do is just heat this area up by just rubbing it, and get down onto the sacrum. Okay, excellent. Very good. Okay, now I don't know about you, but I just feel my feet need a bit more work. I can feel this nicely opened up. This is getting to start activated, and the kidney and bladder channels feel pretty good in my legs. But there's that kidney 1 point that really needs some attention just to get that bubbling spring of energy right into this area here. So let's do some work on our feet, and it'll give me a chance to give you an early introduction to our point of the week. I'm trying to bring the camera up, give you a view of my mat. And if you want to get comfy, either on a chair or on the floor, if you've got a mat, we'll look at working some points. So first of all, let's do some of our favorite points for the feet. These are it's a really good idea to work the feet. Obviously, it's a connection with the earth. And the point that we know and love so much, kidney 1/3 of the distance down, bubbling spring. That's the beginning of everything, really, the beginning of the energy of the kidney channel coming up this way. So let's energize that point. I'm going to use both my fingers right in here, opening up the foot. Okay, we're opening it out like this, just opening all of it out. And let's do some doing. So tapping here, kidney 1. Stretching. Really need to pay attention to energizing the lower heater, because the lower heater is like the root of the whole thing. And if we've got obstruction in the middle heat burner, maybe some holding or weakness in the upper burner, which is tending to come up in the poles a bit more, it's important to get the feet sorted out first. Okay, so now we do the other foot. Kidney 1 again, pressing in, opening up our feet. Okay, and then going. Okay, now I'd like to introduce you to the liver meridian. It's one of the wood element meridians, and we're going to do the yin channel first. That's the one that goes up the inside of the body. It's a very important meridian on the psychological and the spiritual level, and it's something that's very important right now, especially for those of you who are feeling a lot of obstruction, and even if you're feeling kind of tired and depressed as well, because the liver meridian is to do with the flow of energy around the body, and on a spiritual level, it's related to the path through life. Okay, so 10 weeks of working on this, you should feel like you're smoothly walking your path of life. We hope so. And I'm going to show you where it starts, and I should introduce you to the very first point on the channel. I'll just pull up the slide for you. And here it is. It's this point here, liver 1, okay? And it's called Dadun, and it means great esteem. And the idea is once your liver channel is cleared out and you're walking the path, your path of life, you just have this feeling of great esteem in yourself. And that's what we're aiming for. We're starting here, right on the toe, okay? It's linked on the spiritual level to the Hun, this path through life. It regulates the liver Qi. It benefits the lower heater, which is what we want, right? And it's used for all kinds of things in acupuncture and Shiatsu, including constipation, genital urinary problems, and menstrual problems as well, because it smooths the flow of Qi, particularly in the lower burner. Now look at the picture, and I'll show you exactly how to find it on my very own toe. Okay, what you do is you take the nail and you just basically go along one side and along the other, and just in the corner of the nail there, that's exactly where the point is, and it runs up this way, up the foot, and then it has a long journey up through the body, up into the lower burner as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to work that a little bit. We're just going to squeeze here by the nail, the inside of the nail there with the thumb, like I'm doing here. You got that? I'll just give you a bit of a close-up if you don't mind of my foot. Yeah, so I'm basically holding right into there. Good job I've been doing my yoga recently, isn't it? Squeezing right into there, and then what I'm doing is I'm working up here towards this groove here between these two bones, okay? And that's what I'm doing here, walking out. That will do is start to open up the liver channel. Okay, now if you already know where the channel is, you might want to just also open up your awareness to where the channel is up through the inside of the leg as you do this, and just see if you can get any connections between this point and especially the lower burner as you press it. Opening up, and we're just working up from that point there, up there. Okay, so there we are. If you're feeling a little bit low in the week, why don't you just take 5 minutes out, work on kidney 1, and then work from here, great esteem, okay, and work it up through the foot. And particularly make sure that these bones here are moving, because this is where the liver channel goes. And a lot of times when you get depression, this is something we do a lot with Shiatsu. We can almost tell when we pick up someone's foot, we feel the stiffness here. We know there's obstruction in the liver channel. We know that the person needs some energy movement, okay? It's something we do all the time. If you've ever had a Shiatsu treatment, you'll notice we often go to the foot, we'll feel around and we'll get a lot of information from the channels on the foot, okay? And you can do it yourself. So I'm going to do my other foot now because I'd like some great esteem on this foot as well, on this toe. So I'm going to work right in there. And then opening up these metatarsals, these bones in the feet, down to these toes. Okay, and it's going to be very interesting when we stand up now, after having done this very important and very powerful point on the liver channel, just to see how we feel when that channel is opened up. Then it'll be time to go into the middle burner. Okay, very good. Well, I think you'll find now when we stand up, we're going to feel pretty different in the way that we stand. But let's try it and see. So standing up again. Let's see what it feels like to stand now. Okay, really nice. Okay, do you get that feeling of the toe anchoring down onto the foot a lot stronger, and the toe and the foot connecting more strongly with the floor? Does it make you always feel like you want to walk forwards? Can you feel that energizing feeling in the foot? It makes you want to walk forwards, and that's one of the things about the liver. It helps you move nice and smoothly. So let's give it an extra boost by doing some doing and some twisting with the middle burner. Okay, so the middle burner, this burner here, it's dominated by the liver and the stomach organs, and it's really important that this is freed up. Okay, now if your feet are tingling like mine, you feel nice and rooted to the ground, it'd be really nice to just swing that middle burner a little bit. Keep this rooted down though, keep those feet rooted to the floor. Okay. That's it. Just going to swing round, freeing up the whole diaphragm and the middle of the body there. Very good. Okay, so now let's just check in with some Ampuka therapy. We're just going to literally just tune in and press around here. And just ask yourself, what does that feel like? What's it like? Because this whole area here we can work on with the doing on the legs, okay? And why don't we start off with the liver channel? We're going to pick it up from great esteem, liver 1. I'm going to go up through the body and then down the gallbladder channel. Are you ready? Okay, let's do it. So I'm going to go right down here. I'm going to just remind myself of this point on the foot. Just going to tap along the top of the foot a little bit, and then into the inside of the ankles. And then we're going to just tap up the inside of the legs. Right behind the adductor muscle here, this big muscle you can feel here, right behind it is the liver channel. And then it goes actually through here, goes into the whole lower abdomen area, and it comes up and connects with more with where the liver actually is here. Okay? So let's do that again. Starting off on the foot, tapping the feet, tapping up the inside, the legs. Okay, and then up through here. Wow, okay. I think that work on the feet really helped. I can feel it's like tingling feeling coming up through the liver channel here. Always a good idea to work the feet because it helps the yin channels in the legs. Oh, wow. Okay, exciting. This is exciting stuff. So we go from the great esteem all the way along and up. Okay, a little bit of a shake. Wow, okay, here we go. And now we're going to go down the outside with all the channels. So we're going to pick it up here. We're going to go down here. This is a really important point for the gallbladder channel, which we're going to get to in a few weeks' time. Really looking forward to that. right in the center of the buttocks, because the hip joint, because it's a big joint in the body, is governed by the liver channel and the gallbladder channel. So we want to make sure we free that up. I'm going to give my legs and hips a little bit of a shake as well, actually, as I do this, just to get them moving. Okay, and then we go down the gallbladder channel, which is down the outside of the body where the seam of the trousers would be. Okay, as we've done in previous weeks, if you would like to tune in here and just see what's happening, see if you can find any really good places down the channels where you feel a connection between that where you're tapping and the middle burner. Okay, we're going right down into the ankles and down to the toes. Got it? Okay, so let's do it a couple more times. Sides of the body. Get right into that whole hip, back of the hip. And then down again, down to there, and then off. Okay, one more time. Very good. Okay, excellent. Okay, have a quick feel here again, see if there's any, if it's changed at all, whether it's released or not. If it's released, it's probably because you need more work on the liver and gallbladder. Okay, very good. So let's do the stomach and spleen channels in a loop, in a continuous loop. We're going to go down the outside of the legs, front of the legs, and up the inside. Okay, 3 times. So ready? So we're going to go from the stomach area here, just on the side of the abdominal muscles, down the outside of the legs. Up the inside. Down the outside, up the inside, down the outside, and up the inside. Okay, excellent stuff. Good. Brushing off. Okay, checking in. Ooh. That's more like it. Okay, well, this wants to be nice and soft and open and not kind of blocked up at all. Okay, excellent. Well done, everyone. So now we're going to go more towards the upper heater. Notice that the upper heater and the lower heater are kind of gaining on the middle heater. And that means 2 things. It means anxiety, probably, or maybe loss, grief, anxiety, and it means fatigue. So at the end of this session, I'm going to show you a really important internal Qi Gong connecting exercise, which connects the lower heater with the upper heater. It's really useful for that combination of kind of anxiety and fatigue. Okay, so watch out for that. We'll do that in about 10 minutes time. Before we do that though, let's just make sure that we energize and open up this upper heater as much as we can. Okay, so we've basically got the lungs and the heart. They're the 2 things. Okay. A good way to start off energizing the lungs is to just become aware of where the channel is, and we're just going to just basically shake a little bit in the shoulders, bring it backwards and forwards. Okay. You notice that if you feel sad, you tend to do this. You feel sad and depressed, you tend to do this. And so what we're doing with the lung channel is we're basically opening out this way, either with a stretch like this or out. And the channel runs from here, where it emerges from the lung organ and it goes down towards the thumb. Okay, so what I suggest we do is we energize that channel as much as we can, and we're going to bring the breathing this time into the upper burner, and we're going to connect it with this tapping here. And let's not forget our connection with the earth. Get that kidney 1 bubbling spring connected with the earth, relaxing the hips, relaxing all the way down. Just feel the breath coming into the lungs, but keep also the awareness down into the lower heater. And that's really important because in Chinese medicine, the kidneys grasp and hold the breath down. What that means is it stops you going, okay, which is a kind of panic breathing. We want this breathing. That's what we need to keep our energy up and to keep that upper heater activated. So let's just go down here. Got lots of lung points to explore, which we'll do in the autumn. But for now, let's just go down into the thumb. Do that 3 times. Just moving this area around, just opening it up. Now, if you've got any loss or grief, and there's a lot of that about at the moment, this is going to really help you just let go and activate the lung channel, which is all to do with as I said, with grief and with loss. So it's really good to look after yourself, be kind to yourself, and just allow yourself to open up these channels and just give yourself a bit of a helping hand with energizing that area. There we are. Nice. Okay, opening that up. Oh, good. And then the other side, same thing. We're going to open this up, and we're not going to forget this connection with the earth. So we're opening up here, we're connecting down into the earth. Repeating one. Feel the breath coming to the lungs, but keep your attention down into the dantian and connect with the lower abdomen. Very good. Okay, down. Very good. Okay, now I'll show you a superpower stretch for the lung channel. This is this one. So it's nice to do when you've done the doing because it opens the channel up. Link our thumbs together. I'm going to bring the shoulders back slightly, breathing in. Just going to do 3 breaths going down, lifting the first finger up towards the ceiling, exhaling. And you can feel the stretch down the back of your legs and also into the forefinger here. Yeah, and then we come out of the stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Very good. Breathing in and breathing out. Find it much easier to do the stretches once you've done the dome because it opens up the channel. So let's do the same thing with the pericardium channel. We're going to work down here. And then we'll do some yang channel work, and then I'll show you this connection between the upper and lower heater internal breathing. Okay, so let's do this one. This is the pericardium channel. It goes deep into the chest. If you're an upper heater person today and you're feeling any tightness along here, and we're finding that happening a lot with the clients that are actually making it into the center, it's a really good idea to release any tension around this area here, and this connects with the channel which runs right down the middle of the arm to this middle finger here, okay? So let's just start here, and what I'm doing is I'm actually putting each of my knuckle in between my ribs here, so I'm actually going in between the intercostal spaces, starting off here by the sternum, and working out, just gently, very gently, just moving any obstruction here. A lot of this is going to be emotional, so you just want to let go of it, use the breathing to just allow yourself to just relax here. And give yourself a bit of space. Look after yourself. Give yourself a bit of space in the pericardium channel. Okay. Once we've got this moving, then we can very slowly and steadily work down the inside of the arms. Down to the middle finger, and then come back again. Down to the middle finger again. Okay. Very good. And the other side, just tapping here. Again, I'm using my Getting my knuckles in between all the intercostal spaces, working from the sternum outwards. That's this bone here, by the way, in the middle. Down like this. And then along the inside of the arms like this. Lovely, and then stroking off. Okay, now we should be able to really enjoy this stretch. Let's try it together. This is a pericardium channel stretch, and what we do is we bring our arms forward like this, breathe in, and then slowly breathing out, bringing our arms parallel to the floor. And then we're feeling this stretch right into the middle finger here. And there's a feeling of calmness here to this stretch, a calm, opening feeling in this whole area here. It goes really deep into the heart. It's a wonderful stretch, okay? Let's do it a couple more times, breathing in, breathing out. Lovely, and then breathing in and breathing out. Okay, very good. So now we need to just do some work on the yang channels. The yang channels run from the head and they run down through the shoulders, down the outside of the body. We've already done some work on the stomach and the bladder and the gallbladder channel and leg. So we just need to do some work here just to make sure there's nothing going on in the head and neck. Okay, so let's do a little face routine together. And we're going to just use the fingertips to smooth and open up the upper sinuses here. Got the bladder channel running there. We're working the whole of the forehead. Very good. Okay. Now, in a few weeks, we're going to start off with the gallbladder channel. I'll just give you a bit of a preview here. The gallbladder channel just starts by the side of the eyes, and it's very much connected with the eyes. So we're going to just do a little bit of work on the eyes. Just going to really relax the eyes. The eyes are related directly to the liver in Chinese medicine, and the reason for that is because we're seeing where we're going. It's our kind of vision of where we're going. Okay, and it's important to keep the eyes really relaxed. If you find yourself you've got tension or straining in the eyes, it's where a lot of the emotional kind of stuff goes to. And also, if you get tension headaches around the sides of the head, particularly related to the liver and gallbladder. So let's just press, nicely press, relax all the way around. Just press in 3 times from the temples, down the sides of the head. That's where the gallbladder channel runs. Yeah. And now we've got the lower sinuses, that's these around here. We've got the famous large intestine 20, which we'll come to in the autumn. Can you believe that? Because so far away we'll get to this point. I need some work on that actually. That's better. There's some stomach points here. We'll get onto those later on in the summer. There's some more points we'll do in the summer around here. And then we've got round the mouth, around here. And then we can just pull the ears. Okay, very good. And we're just going to do some work on the neck. This is important to work around here. It's where the vagal nerve goes. So it's really good to keep this area nice and released. You want a nice connection between the vagal nerve and the rest of your body. You see I'm working on the top front of the SEM muscle here. Yeah. Okay, and now it's time to just do the back of the neck, squeezing the back of the neck. Let's give you a look. Okay, remember celestial pillar? What a wonderful point. Remember that? We did that in the bladder and kidney sequence. Okay, always worth pressing there. And then you can press with your fingertips or squeeze down the back. That's the bladder channel. And just to the outside of it, from this hollow here, we've got another point coming up this cycle, which is another wood point, which we'll do later on in a few weeks' time. But the channel runs down here. It's really important for treating the eyes and headaches on the side of the head and things like that. Neck stiffness. Yeah, down here. And then it goes on to the shoulder. So it's a really good idea to get those shoulders released. I'm just going to do it in the sitting position here, just releasing that. There we go, so. Yeah, there's also some important points up here that we're going to be doing later on in this wood cycle, because there's some points on the shoulder that are really good, again, for releasing the shoulders and moving energy down this way, down the body. Very good. Okay, so now I'm just going to shake around, shake out, and go down the yang side of the arms. So I'm just going down the whole yang side of the arm, so the outside of the arms, getting them all channels in one go. Very good. Okay, and then we're just going to brush off like this, brush off down the arms, down the body, down to the feet. Okay, excellent. So now we're just going to spend a few moments just integrating everything together. And then I'll show you a connection thing. If you're starting to get fatigue and anxiety, that combination, be a useful internal exercise to do. Recommend doing the Do-in and the shaking and the meridian work first, but then you may want to go internally and just be able to calm yourself down. Before we do that, let's do this Tai Chi exercise. Always a good exercise to do. It allows us to tune in and check how we're doing with our alignment and how we're integrating everything together. Okay, so standing feet shoulder width apart, feet parallel. We're going to open up that kidney 1 point and just wiggle the big toe. We get that great esteem point, giving us a bit of esteem. Could do with some of that, couldn't we, going up our body? Wiggling my big toe. And then we're going to soften the hips, relax the knees, and relax our ankles, and just get that really comfortable, relaxed feeling. You've really earned it. You've done like an hour of exercises. Really, now we can really enjoy it. We've earned this feeling. That feeling of being nice and stable on the ground. And then we're going to relax the lower abdomen, relax the middle burner, and open and relax the upper burner. Let's get that feeling of the spine, that lovely feeling of being suspended upwards. And now, I don't know about you, but it's a completely different feeling than it was an hour ago. I can feel a complete connection all the way down. My feet feel much more open. And I can just feel that balance between floating up here on this golden thread and that nice solid feeling of connection with the earth. And we need to establish that first of all before we do the external movement. Okay. But let's do it together. What we're going to do is we're going to do a combination of sinking down, pushing up from the ground. Okay. So just first of all, we are imagining that thread. Got our spine hanging down in a nice relaxed way, like a string of pearls. And we're going to just lower that down, float the arms up. Doesn't that feel great? That's it. Breathing in and then breathing out. You're just going to let that string pull us up, holding it nicely down like a string of pearls. Yeah, let's do it again. Breathing in. Nice slow exhalation. Feel that string of pearls being pulled up. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, floating up Okay, now we're going to keep doing the same exercise, but we're going to switch our attention to our feet. And we're going to feel that solidity, that feeling of connection with the earth. That's the yin connection through the feet. Okay, so bring your attention to your feet. We're going to sink into those feet. Okay, and now imagine you're really heavy and we're going to push up with the legs. Push up. So we feel heavy down into our feet. And we push up from the legs. Okay, and that gives us a feeling of solidity in the body. So we're feeling heavy and solid, and we push up. Okay, that's the yin. And the yang is the floaty light feeling. So now let's combine them. So we're going to float down, feeling light, floating down, and then pushing up. Okay, floating down. Pushing up. Think of your head floating down. Think of your feet pushing up. Okay, got it? So now we switch it round, and what we're going to do is we're going to sink down, feel heavy in our feet, and float up from the head. Okay, so we feel heavy down into the feet. Lightly floating up. Okay, and floating down. Okay, heavy, feeling heavy down. One more time. And then switching to feeling light and floating up. Okay, excellent. So now let's just enjoy standing for a second. We're just going to stand and balance it out. And I'll show you this connecting breathing exercise. You can stand. Got this lovely connection with the earth. We're feeling nice and open and light here. We're going to place one hand on the sternum here and one hand on the dantian. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to create a connection between the two. So first of all, let's bring our awareness into this lower burner here and do 3 breaths. We're going to breathe in. And we're going to breathe out. Keeping the breath here, keeping the energy from the breath under this hand. Okay, breathing in. Okay, just 3 breaths. Okay, got it? Now we're going to breathe into this hand. Nice exhalation. Got it? Okay, so now what we're going to do is connect these two, and we're going to breathe into both areas, and we're going to imagine there's like a connection between them. Okay, so let's try it. We're going to breathe in to both areas. Hold the breath and imagine like a warmth connecting the two down. Hold it, and then slow exhalation. Okay, breathing into both areas. Hold it. Feel the connection between your hands. And exhale. Okay, excellent. Okay, one more time, breathing in. Breathing in here and then into here. Hold it. Feel the connection between your two hands. And then slowly exhale. Okay, now I hope that you felt really quite a nice solid connection between your hands. If you feel you're getting tired, and if you get tired and anxious, and I know that's starting to creep up in the polls now, I would recommend doing some of these Do-In exercises, and then you can even just lying down. What it does is it actually makes a connection between the kidney, which is related to the adrenal system, and the heart. And that's a very important connection in stress management, not just in Chinese medicine, but also in Western medicine as well, and in polyvagal theory. So it's a really important thing. If you find that, if you do this test and you feel that the hands are not connecting very well, then it's something you should really work on, maybe working on releasing the middle burner, strengthening the lower burner, and opening up, using the exercises that we do every single Wednesday. And you'll be able to find, you'll be able to control that feeling of anxiety and tiredness on your own. And that's what we're looking for in these classes, to give you the tools that you can do on your own, and have fun with them at home and really enjoy looking after yourself when you can't get in for a shiatsu. Okay, so it's now time to just tune in for a second and just see how we've done. Let's just see how we've done. How do you feel now? I'm thinking back to how I felt just an hour ago, and I feel pretty different. I hope you do too. Let's just see how you did. So do you feel now? Do you feel more balanced than you did? About the same? Or maybe you had a reaction. Maybe you feel a little bit less balanced, in which case just look after yourself, be kind to yourself, and that usually within a day or two, those things will work through, especially if you keep up with the exercises. Okay, thank you very much. I don't know what we did this week, but we've got a higher score. I think we only got a little bit lower. I think I got 92% last time. So yeah, we're up to 95% more balanced. If you feel about the same, really encourage you to keep doing the exercises. Every week we're going to tune into you, find out how you are, and we're going to tweak those exercises and help you. If you need any help or support, get in touch with us at the Shiatsu Centre in Norwich. Okay, thank you very much. I'm just going to check out the chat now. I don't get much of a chance to do that. Oh, I've got lots of hearts. That's really good. I'm going to put one in myself because I really enjoyed that one. And it's so exciting to do it on the wood path. 10 weeks of the wood. Thank you, Basti. Looks like you've had a busy time in the chat. I'm just scrolling up and down. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, yeah. Great esteem. Great esteem.
The names of the points
are
so descriptive and so image building.
I tell you what, Basti, it's really, really a revelation for me the last 10 weeks. I mean, I've never really gone that deeply into it, especially when I found out I researched the Kunlun Mountains. I thought, Kunlun Mountains, what's all that about? And then I got into all these myths and everything. I will never press bladder 60 again without thinking, wow. Brilliant stuff. Maybe we should build that into the college when we start the college up again in the autumn. We should focus on the imagery of the points. I think that would be a great way forward, actually. Really good. Yeah. Okay, great. See you next Wednesday. Tell all your friends. There's always more room on the class. We can take up to 500 people. So tell all your friends to get on it. Thank you very much. And bye-bye, everyone. Right. End the session. Here we go.